This conference will now be recorded.
I will be talking a little bit about i3 verticals as well as the product roadmap, and then I'll be passing on over to John, who will take you through some new features that are available to you today within Bill and Pay. John, next slide, please. Many of you have probably started to see i3 verticals, and in fact, a lot of you are coming through our reseller channel or through our i3 ISO partners. So you're familiar with the i3 brand, but we wanted to make sure, since you'll start seeing more and more of i3 verticals on our marketing site and so forth, that you understand that we're part of this bigger company called i3 Verticals. And from that company, we get to leverage a lot of things, including a support infrastructure, a product and development team, marketing, and additional payment gateways that i3 Verticals has to offer for us to utilize within the Bill and Pay product. And we're going to continue to use additional features, and you're going to see more integration between offerings of i3 and what we're doing within Bill and Pay. And very exciting, we're very excited about, first of all, we're going to have a new i3 Bill and Pay logo. So bringing us in line with the logo layout for our i3 suite of products. We are going to be taking the Bill and Pay website and refreshing it, making it look much more modern and have a lot more information on it. But to you guys, more important is we're going to be enhancing the payer portal, making it look a lot more modern, make it easier to use, and start creating more features and capabilities within that portal. Along with that, to make your lives easier, we are going to be redesigning the biller experience. So the entire Bill and Pay admin portal that you use today is going to have a new look and feel, a new navigation, easier to move between screens, and we think that it will provide a huge value to both you and your payers.
It's probably my personal extension.
Next slide, please. What we have coming for 2022, we plan to have our present options available, the ability for our payers to have more ways to store payment accounts, adding some flexibility around convenience fees. For instance, having all ranges of dollars in which you can charge different convenience fees at different ranges. Pay by text enhancements, you'll learn more about by our pay by text capabilities today, and we're going to continue to enhance what you can do with text through the software product. We also plan to go build out more direct integrations with other ERP systems that you may be utilizing, so that will make a much stronger tie between Bill and Pay and your AR and accounting systems. All of this is coming in 2022. We're looking forward to bringing you some new features. All you, John.
I got a question.
Can we hold questions until the end?
No, I want to ask a question right now because I don't want to forget it. On the text payment and the pay button, is that going to be on invoices that you can put in your QuickBooks or anywhere, or is it just going to be on the portal? Because you didn't explain it very well.
The pay by text will be available for anybody sending out invoices. So it'll be an option that the payer will have once they sign up for it, after you've added it to your system.
So will it be on the invoice on a button, or is it going to be in the portal? I'm sorry, you didn't answer the question, sir.
They will get a text. It will allow them to register. And then at that point, when you send an invoice off, it will give you an option to either get it by email or by text. And from that point on, they will be able to choose how they like it depending on their payer portal.
We'll be going in depth into that feature here in the coming slides.
All right, thanks Dave for the introduction and the quick overview of what we're going to be covering. Right now I'm going to speak on the real-time sync Real-time sync is going to work with the QuickBooks Online product and online product only. This is not on the desktop. Apologize for that. And basically what the real-time sync does is allows you to create an invoice within the QuickBooks Online service. And once you have saved and completed that invoice, it will sync over to the bill and pay system, which will allow you to send off the invoice and will allow the customer to make the payment. I will show that in just a quick moment. And on that, once the payment has been made, it will real-time sync back into the QuickBooks Online system. So then at that point, you'll be able to see that real time. I would like to show you that in just a quick moment, how it works. Here's some of the items that kind of make the real-time sync, stand apart. It's an automatic two-way sync between both the systems. Allows you to deliver invoices to customers within seconds. Available to all QuickBooks Online customers. And you can see the payments as they are made. Oh, and it's free. We're not charging anything extra for this particular service. All right, before we move on to this next enhanced feature, I want to kind of give you a quick walkthrough of what that QuickBooks Online looks like and how it syncs into Bill and Pay. So anybody using QuickBooks Online will notice this screen or know what the screen is. We could go in, create a new invoice, choose a customer that we want to send it to. Just a second, let me refresh. As you see, it will populate all your normal information that you have built for that customer record. I'm going to come into let's do a $32 product. We are going to go ahead and save and close. At this point, the invoice has been saved and sent over to Bill and Pay. What you are going to see when you log into your Bill and Pay account, and this is how you basically turn it on. So just keep an eye on your main screen where your normal timeframes per day was listed. You'll now see a real-time sync option. Some people have already started using this option, so you may have already set it up. But at this point, the real-time sync has been initiated for this one. You will notice that the synchronize button is also there. You can do a manual sync if for some reason you're not connecting or some kind of other issue going on with the local network. But at this point, everything kind of goes in. And we're going to go to unpaid invoices. All right. And we have our invoice here that's came in. You can choose to send it to your customer, or you can actually go ahead and make a payment, just depending on your particular environment. For us, I'm going to go ahead and make that payment. All right, payment has been processed. You're able to print your receipt as usual. Go ahead and just click to continue. Now, once we go back into our QuickBooks, as you can see, it is listed as paid now. Just that quick, just that easy. All right. So we're going to talk about one of our other features, which is pay without a customer. So you can accept a payment without having a customer create a payer portal login. So it allows you to send a link to your customer and or maybe on a website, something like that. And when they click the link, it's going to gather a couple of pieces of information from them, but it will not force them to have a matching invoice onto it. So it's pretty cool just to be able to take on payments. That way you don't have to worry about sending out invoices if necessary. And I'm going to show you what it is in just a quick moment. but it allows you to collect funds from a payer even if you haven't created a customer record and or an invoice. Here's some quick screenshots that I'm going to show you of what it is, but essentially you can go in as a biller and you can customize the line item values that the customer will see, and it can be as simple as just a customer's name and an email. Just enough information basically to allow you to pinpoint who the customer is and apply that to their account or to an invoice you create later. It will take you to a screen. Once you go into your biller panel, you'll be able to see unapplied credits to your account, basically, or unapplied payments, I should say. And it will give you the opportunity to link that payment to one of your existing customers, or if it's a new customer, you'll have the opportunity to set up a new customer as well. Here's some of the screens that I'll show you just so you can help identify. At this bottom area down here, it will make suggestions on what customer it may be applied to. That way you don't have to go through looking through your customer list. But again, you are able to add the customer at that time if that particular payment doesn't apply to an existing customer. Once you've applied it, it will let you know it's been done. You can return to your customer screen, and that's just that simple. And I'll show you a quick overview of that as well. Anybody who has the access to the bill and pay options, the website link is where you go. I've created one on our side over here, but you will have a customized link for yourself. This just takes the customer over to your link so they're able to make a payment. Here's what I've enabled just for our testing side of things, but we'll come in, we'll type in a customer's name and email, because that is how typically somebody would link up a customer number. You can have another item in there as well, like quote number or invoice number, any kind of reference to one of your products or anything like that that you may be wanting to attach to one of these payments. But it does not require all of them. You can choose and pick what you want. But we definitely recommend having customer name and email. So that is typically what a customer record maintains for the linking. The customer will have the opportunity to take any kind of payment type that you were set up for as a biller. So in our situation, we have both checks and credit cards on the account. We're going to go ahead and choose credit card for ease right now. You can choose how much you want to make the payment for. You can schedule the payment. They will have an opportunity to send emails if necessary. I'm not going to get one this time. Once you have the confirmation, everything should now be in the bill and pay system. So we go into our payments, and here we are. We see an unlinked payment. You can come up here to get a full list, or you can click on the actual payment that you see. We have the add customer down here if I wanted to add one, but it's also a suggestion of the one I have set up for my email address. So we're going to go ahead and click match. And now this payment has been applied. So just that easy. This does allow your customers to make payments in advance. If they already know what their invoice is going to be, or if they're making a regular payment, they can apply that without having to worry about waiting for the invoice to come through. All right, moving on. So one of our biggest new products is our pay by text. Pay by text is one of the newer things in the industry. Bill and Pay is one of the first in the industry to add that. So it's been very fruitful. We've had it on the system for quite some time. I'd say probably about 60 days running and testing, just having everybody try to break it, make sure it's working good. And it's been very successful. Some of the benefits, you can send notifications by text, collect payments by text, new invoice notifications, payment reminders, past due notifications, and payment confirmations. Pay by Text does require the customer to create a payer portal logon. This is how they determine how they want their invoices to come through. So they will have an opportunity to pick and choose what their preferred notification method is. And as you can see, you can do email and or text messages. They can choose which mobile number to have the information sent to, as well as emails. The payer can sign up to get this when they receive their first invoice. You can do it via the web, but if you haven't signed up previously, you will need to make a payment through the mobile device so it attaches. But after that, everything will go through via text if the settings were dictated as such. Again, they do have the option to both receive emails and texts, and they will verify the phone number that is entered with a confirmation text. So most people have seen where they'll get a text message saying, confirm, here's a number, very similar, kind of like a two-step authentication. To make payments, if a payer hasn't made a payment yet via the payer portal, then the first text payment must be made via mobile, which is what I just mentioned just a second ago. Text messages will include a link to the mobile site. After the first payment's been made, payer can make the payments directly through text message. This is an example of what the text message looks like when it comes through. It will tell you the invoice number. It'll tell you who it's from, the amount, and the due date. Depending on what payment options the biller has set up on their portal, it will give different options based off that. So for example, if you want to reply 20, that'll allow you to pay with your credit card that you have on file. If you have 21, that will pay for the checking account that is on file. If the biller only accepts credit card, then they're going to only have one option, and it will tell them to reply with the number that applies to that option on the payer's setup. You're also able to go view your account and pay online by clicking the links as well. So that will open up the traditional web payer portal as well. One quick mention, and I'm not sure if the other slide will show that, you are able to retrieve these values of the 20 and 21 off of the portal. So if a customer calls in and says, hey, I'm not sure which number I need to use, you will have access to that in your biller side of things. And of course, our support staff can help you as the biller as well if you need some help with that. All right, how it works. Basically, when you register for the Pay by Text service, you're going to be generated a telephone number that applies to your account. Invoice notification is sent. Obviously, you'll have the options, just like I mentioned earlier. Payer will send a text with the option they choose to make the payment with. So in this case, 20. So they're choosing to use their credit card on file. They will get a confirmation text saying, yes, do you agree? Please respond, basically. And you can choose yes or no. As long as you respond with the appropriate yes or Y, it will process the payment and you'll get a confirmation. You'll also receive a confirmation number. And of course, this is all real time through your portal too. So once these payments are made, you're going to see this in your biller portal. Some of the benefits of Pay by Text, it's a much higher open rate than what emails are. 94% of people open their texts within 3 minutes, completing a payment with as little as 2 messages. Sign up is easy. Sign up usually takes about 2 minutes to kind of go through, select what you want, put your phone number in, get your confirmation text, letting you know that everything's been added. So it's really quick, it's really easy. Most people already know how to do this, so it just kind of fits in today's environment. This pricing is static, so it is $10 a month, and that does include up to the first 500 messages. Any messages over 500, it's 1.5 cents. Charges will appear on your normal monthly billing, and the first month we give to you for free. All right, so the next piece that we're going to be getting into is called Bill and Pay 1. Bill and Pay One is going to be an all-in-one program that is going to allow you to use the Bill and Pay One merchant services system in conjunction with your existing biller account. So, for example, if you have another merchant services right now, you don't want to use them anymore. You want to use a different company, or we could beat those rates, which you're going to see in just a few minutes. We have this opportunity now to activate that. It is available for both new and existing billers that are not associated with an agent or any kind of reseller account. So you will see some options pop up on your home screen, but let's go through some of the options. You can manage everything in one place. It allows your AR software with our secure processing gateway to do everything in one place. It's quick to sign up for it. So we do have an application. It is an e-app on the Bill and Pay system that you can fill out and complete. Very quick, very short. It's a fixed pricing. There's no hidden processing fees. A single bill showing all of your processing costs. A single portal view for complete reporting. So you're able to just go into your Bill and Pay account, pull all your reporting from your billing, to what's processed, things like that. We are also able to handle voids and refunds. So that's a big difference in some of the other portals. So you are able to do both when you're using the Bill and Pay One product. Here's our flat processing cost. This is fixed. This is, basically everything all inclusive. So as you can see, it's 2.9% with a 25-cent per transaction fee. Again, this is your processing fees. We do not charge anything extra for gateway, PCI, or additional discount fee. So again, you know exactly what you're going to be billed per transaction. Here's your ACH fees. We do have percentages based off the size of the transactions that you are processing. Your fees for the ACH returns or notice of change is $7. Your reject fees and chargeback fees are $25. That is in line with typical merchant services in our industry. So we think that's nice to have, so you know exactly what it's going to be. A few bullet points, summary of all your charges on one monthly statement. Processing costs are deducted from your deposit, so it eliminates one of those big monthly bills you normally get with another merchant services. Additional reports are provided for daily reconciliation. So you will be able to reconcile everything that you're processing, how much you're paying, how much you're getting paid, all that good stuff. So it's very beneficial. All right, so for all your existing people out there that already have biller accounts and you might already be attached to another merchant services, you will see an offer on your front screen that you can choose. It will not disable your current processing. So don't think if you start applying for this, it's going to shut you down and you're not going to be able to process credit cards. That is not the case. You will be able to go through, fill out the application and complete it, and continue using your current processor until your account has been approved. If you're not interested in this, you can easily click the hide button and it will no longer display. Completing the application is pretty quick and easy. We do ask you a few questions that help us identify what type of merchant account you are going to need. It does have all your typical information listed there so you can see it before you agree to it and fill out everything. Basically, have the instructions on the application of what to do. Please accurately enter all information required. Inaccurate or incomplete information slows the review process. This is a quick view of what the process items are. Any questions you have on this, you can email one@billandpay.com. Our team over here will give you a hand with that to make sure you know what you're doing on this and try to get everything moving as quickly as possible. This is an e-app, so you can sign electronically. And you will also be able to download a full agreement once everything's been completed. You are able to track your application status. At the home page, it'll display the status of your application. Bill and Pay will reach out if additional information is needed. On some cases, we may need some additional info about your business or about you yourself. So we will reach out and discuss that with you. Once approved, your Bill and Pay One is ready to be used. Now, we are going to field questions via chat since we have so many people on the call today. So you will notice the chat is open. So let's go ahead and start opening up for some of these questions. One of the questions is, will you be able to integrate Apple Pay for customers to be paying invoices? At this point, I do not think we've got that development working yet, but obviously it will work on a text to pay option. So, you technically can save it when you sign up for it and make payments that way, but not specifically with Apple Pay. We are going to be working on some more development in 2022 that will be more card present orientated. And so once we start doing that and there's a physical device on site or at location for the billers, that is one of the options that should be coming available during that process. Let's see.
There was a question up top on controlling whether emails are sent when you're automatically syncing using real-time sync.
Let me take a look.
So just like you have control today, you can have invoices go into review before emails are sent. Nothing changes in the current workflow. The real-time sync just pushes the invoices there right away, and whether you are using the review process first or not doesn't change. Still the same way.
Thanks, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Is there a link or a pay button you can put on invoices so you go directly to the site? We do have some HTML coding on the website link area. So yes, you can create that and utilize that as necessary. Some people put it on the invoices, some people put it on their websites. You can kind of do whatever you want with that. It will all link to your page. You can also, again, use the pay without a customer scenario where they can just make a payment and or attach it to an invoice. So yes, definitely you can. Let's see. So if you have a bill and pay account, it's the biggest thing with Bill and Pay One. It adds direct credit card processing. Yeah, so it basically brings everything into one location. With our partnering up with i3 Verticals, we're in the merchant services business, not only just the product side of things. So we were able to offer Bill and Pay a method of offering merchant services direct to their customers. So one of the benefits are, again, it's all in one place. Historically, you might have had to use like an authorize.net or another gateway to link your existing credit card services in there. So now you just have an opportunity to do it directly through Bill and Pay for a set price. So we've had a lot of interest in that over the years. So we're glad to open it up now. One quick question, when will the recording be available? I'll get it buttoned up and sent out on a communication. Typically it's within 24 hours, so I guess probably tomorrow we'll get that out to all the attendees so you can rewatch it accordingly. Let's see.
Richard had a question. Is there a link or pay button you can put on invoices so they go directly to the site? So when you email an invoice out, the link on the invoice notification will always take them directly to the payer site and directly to that invoice. The paid button feature that we've added creates a button that you can put on a website, but it is generic and it just takes them to the payer portal, not to a specific invoice.
Thanks, David.
Luke asked, if you have a bill and pay out, is the biggest thing in Bill and Pay One adds is direct credit card processing. What it adds is through voids and refunds right within the software. It allows you to reconcile from reports within the software instead of having to work with a merchant statement, and it eliminates the merchant statement altogether. So you see everything in one place instead of having to say jump to a payment portal to issue a refund or to pull down your reports for reconciliation. So the idea is bill and pay one. You can go to bill and pay and get everything you need for both your credit card processing and your invoice presentment. Music Mill asked about the 1% on ACH. It is tiered pricing. It's 1% from 0 to, I believe, 1,000. Then we tier down to 0.5% and then to 1/4. So it is similar to what the payment process, the fees for ACH are for QuickBooks, but then it tiers down from there. Will you still support the QuickBooks desktop version? Absolutely. There's no changes in that. We're not planning on losing support for that. Carolyn Russo asked, let's see, link to payment section. Can you customize to include more fields? I believe if you're talking when it's the allow payment without a customer, you can add a couple of additional fields. There are 4 or 5 fields you can choose from. If you contact support, they can help you set that up.
Hey Dave, I see a question in here about the credit memos. Will you be adding a feature for credit memos to automatically be emailed through bill and pay? You got that one?
We do have an enhancement for credit memos, both for potential syncing from QuickBooks. And I would, if you want to provide more information for exactly what you're looking for through the support team, we can take a look at whether we've got something on the board for that feature.
On bill and pay, the charge cards are charged a higher rate than card present transactions. With customers directly accessing the portal and making payments, or the plans to get this at a lower rate due to lower risk. In our industry, it's, for bill and pay one specifically, it's flat for everything. But from the merchant services industry in general, anything card not present falls into a certain category, as well as a card present. So at the current time, anything being hand keyed is still considered card not present, since you're not physically inserting or tapping or swiping a transaction. However, we are going to be working on development in 2022 to allow card present stuff to go through. So we'll definitely be adding more information, more functionality to that should and or will affect those processing rates.
There were some general questions about Reliafund and so forth. All of the current payment methods that are there are, all your current processing methods that you have are still available. Bill and Pay One is just an option for you to use the fully integrated solution. Yeah, and you can use, it will set up. Bill and Pay One automatically boards you with a single process for credit card and ACH. But if you only want to select one, we can configure it such that it will only, for instance, accept ACH.
We have one in here about text payments if it requires an app. It does not. It's just straight text messaging, so no app required. Hey Dave, I don't know if you know this one, but looks like you're talking about the iframe on the iOS devices. Are you familiar with that?
Are you planning on fixing payments via iframe from iOS device? I'm not sure what that is referring to. Alex, if you can provide some more information through support, or we can go ahead and follow up with you. For text payments is an app, we covered that. Is the all one fees cumulative for ACH or per transaction? That's a per transaction charge based on the percentage and the amount of the transaction.
There's a question in here about the 2.9 starting when. So the 2.9% will start when you activate Bill and Pay. So if you decide to get onto the Bill and Pay One product and use us for the processing, once that application has been completed and you've been approved and start processing, that's when the 2.9 is implemented. However, you still will need to cancel out your existing merchant services if you are using a different provider. So you are not, paying two different merchant services fees. So please, keep that in mind. I see the one about will you still offer the 55 cents Rely Fund? Yep, that everything historic is still there. We're not retiring anything. I'm currently paying a flat monthly fee plus per ACH transaction I only use. Does one replace this? Yeah, if you're currently using a different service and you want to apply to one, then yes, it would replace your existing service. So again, just, you would have to cancel that existing service after the Bill and Pay One has been completed and added. So definitely.
There's a question about the customer facing page is pretty bland. That is
Yep.
absolutely the payer portal refresh that we are targeting for the early part of this coming year. We feel like that'll be a major impact with your customers. It will definitely be as we say, snazzier look.
And I'll just add, I think the general Bill and Pay product in its whole is going to go through a lot of updates and enhancements. So just hold on to your seats. I think you're going to enjoy the product a lot more over the next year or so. Let's see. Anybody who needs the Bill and Pay One, even if you're set up with us currently, you do still have to fill out the application because it's a new service, so you do have to fill it all out. Again, we will help you go through that process, and the approval on that's pretty quick. I think typically within 2 or 3 business days, you can be fully active and ready to go, if not sooner. So, but you definitely do have to go through the process.
Turnaround time on ACH with Bill and Pay One is 2 days, not 4 like you get from other ACH providers. That's a very important point we forgot to point out. Appreciate, Tom, for you to bringing that up.
Agreed. Hey, Mark Evans, I think we love you also. I'm glad to know you're switching. I think you're going to like the product a lot, so please enjoy. The application link is going to be on your homepage. Once you log in, it should be on there. You should see a link letting you know that you can click and start moving forward. Dave, that is live now, right? We've already pushed that out.
I'm sorry.
The link for them to sign up, it's
Yes.
live and ready on the homepage, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Okay, good.
If you're not seeing it, let us know. Michael, your calculation is off by a decimal point. Michael Novilla. It's not 5%, it's 0.5%.
All right. Well, looks like we had a big shout out to Carrie. She is the best. I don't know what I would do without her. So yes, I agree. All right, looks like we've already talked about the apply for services. But yes, it's on the same site. Just log in. It should be on your homepage. Is it Bill and Pay One the new service? Yes, absolutely, brand new.
We have one caveat to that. We've had some of our own companies using it for about 4 or 5 months to give it a full test run. So we have been using it internally as a solution. So it is a new service just offered now to the general public.
You did not have to upgrade to Bill and Pay One to get to pay without an invoice or pay without a customer option. That is part of your basic service without switching over to Bill and Pay One. Yes, an unlinked payment will process regardless if it's linked or not. The best thing to say, this is for Luke, as far as a new cost, I would take a look at your existing merchant services and just apply the percentages that we provided to you on the slides. It's actually still showing up there. Just go through and apply, or you can do an effective rate. Just do your total processing and divide it by the interchange rate and the per item rate, and that should give you an idea of what you're going to be paying with the new bill and pay one system.
And do note again, when you're taking a look at your existing invoices, there are going to be no gateway, PCI, or discount fees or anything else besides this flat rate pricing.
Excellent. Well, I think we got through all of the questions. I really want to thank everybody for joining. I know there's been some issues, or there were some issues with the invite, so I appreciate everybody who jumped on. I hope y'all like the new products and enhancements. Any questions that you may have, you can send to support@billandpay.com, or sales if it's in regards to any of the new services. If it's in regard to Bill and Pay One specifically, you can email the one@billandpay.com email, and our team will be glad to help you out. As you are already aware, we do have people answering the phones, doing tech support and support as well, or you can open up a ticket. So we have several means to get any of your questions answered, and we are really looking forward to answering and getting you set up on any of these new products and enhancements. Dave, do you have any closing remarks you want to make?
I'll just thank you for all your time. If you guys have any questions, again, about the application, it's one@billandpay.com, and we'll assist you with that. Signing up for Bill and Pay One. Otherwise, any other support issues, go through your normal channels. We appreciate our support team and think they do a great job, and I hope you guys feel the same way. Thanks.